Welcome to my channel! Learn with Teacher Ali!
English, Grade 5, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 1. Objectives: making predictions and drawing conclusions. A. Predict characters, possible decisions, or actions. B. Draw conclusions from story events and character interactions. And express conclusions and predictions in a culturally and gender-sensitive and age-appropriate manner. Students, listen to the title of the book, then look at the pictures to guess what you will see inside the book. To introduce the lesson, let students do the following activity. Let students read the following scenarios and determine what event is likely to occur next. Ask them to explain their answers using textual evidence. Scenario 1. During a camping trip, Christy and Joel find themselves lost in the forest after straying from the designated trail. Christy, an experienced hiker, reassures Joel that she knows the way back to the campsite. However, as dusk approaches, they realize they have been walking in circles. Scenario 2. At a board game night, Mary and Rose playfully compete in a game of strategy and skills. As the game progresses, tension builds between them, fueled by playful taunts and strategic moves. Scenario 3. During a school field trip to the zoo, Sophia and Liam spot a mischievous monkey swinging from tree to tree in the primate exhibit. The monkey seems to be eyeing the banana snacks in Sophia's backpack, much to her amusement and Liam's concern. Scenario 4. During a craft session, Olivia and Ethan are making friendship bracelet for each other. As they weave colorful threads together, they discuss their favorite colors and designs, sharing stories of friendship and laughter. Scenario 5. In a classroom, Lily and Max are looking out the window during English class. They notice dark clouds gathering in the sky and a few raindrops start to fall. Allow the students to be familiar with the words that they will encounter for this week's lesson. Prediction. It is a statement about what you think will happen in the future. Conclusion. The opinion or judgment you have after considering all the information about something. Textual evidence. Proof from a text in order to prove that the information is true and accurate. Monster. Any imaginary frightening creature, especially one that is large and strange. Tale. A story, especially one that might be invented or difficult to believe. Let the students read the story and answer the questions that follow. Ask students to explain their predictions using textual evidence. The Loving Monster, A Heartwarming Tale by Mary Ross T. Castañeras. One morning, the child woke up from his long sleep because of the hammering and banging on the veranda. He exited the bed, rubbed his eyes, and went downstairs to see where the sounds came from. As he neared the front door, he found his father squatting over a broken lawn mower. The boy was used to seeing things like this. His father was always fixing things. They could be a leaking roof or a broken appliances. He was a man of few words, or maybe he was not just interested. "Good morning, father." Despite the noise and the early hour, Baste greeted his father pleasantly. His father gave a fleeting glance up, his look uncommunicative, before returning to his work without saying anything. Baste sighed and went into the kitchen to prepare breakfast. His father entered the room and wiped his hand with a rag. "Eat up and get ready for school," his father responded casually. The child nodded, used to his father's relaxed approach. He quickly completed his meal and went upstairs to prepare for the day. As he packed his books and backpack, he felt disappointed by his father's lack of interest in him. Despite this overwhelming emotion, Baste went to school. As he entered the classroom, he noticed his teacher carrying a poster. The billboard advertised tryouts for a school play, and they were looking for cast members. Baste's eyes widened with enthusiasm as the teacher described each character in detail. The teacher described a brave and daring hero leading the group on a mission to defend the kingdom for an evil sorcerer. Baste's heart beat with anticipation as he pictured himself as the hero, carrying a sword and confronting danger head-on. As the teacher continued to describe the other characters, Baste's mind raced with ideas. There was a wise old wizard, a crafty thief, a mighty warrior, and a caring princess. Each character possessed distinct characteristics, and Baste could not wait to bring them to life on stage. The teacher encouraged students to audition for any role they were interested in, and Baste immediately decided that he wanted to play the monster, the story's central character. He spent the remainder of the day practicing his lines and honing his sword play, hoping to please the casting directors. When audition day arrived, Baste stood uncomfortably before the casting panel as he delivered his words with passion and conviction. A thrill of excitement circulated through his veins. Baste was overjoyed when the casting directors announced that he had been cast as the monster. The sessions were intense and challenging, but Baste embraced his role with passion and enthusiasm. He worked tirelessly on his performance, immersing himself in the play's atmosphere and bringing his character to life with each line he spoke. However, his delight quickly changed to concern when he realized that the costume required for the play was beyond his family's budget. Feeling discouraged, Baste confided in his cousin, who encouraged him to discuss his problems with his father. Baste reluctantly discussed his concerns with his father, expecting rejection or a scolding. To his amazement, Baste's father listened intently but said nothing, convincing himself he could never participate in the play. As he went to sleep, that night, he could not believe what he witnessed. A large, dark shadow that resembled a monster working. It was barely a glimpse, yet it sent chills down his spine. "Who are you?" Baste yelled. "What do you want?" Baste shouted and was jolted awake by his father's hand. "Someone was on the veranda last night, father," Baste said, his eyes trying to persuade his father. His father responded indifferently, "Eat up and get ready for school." Now, read the short paragraph below and answer the question that follows on the separate sheet. Students, what do you think is the ending of the story? Draw a symbol that would reflect your takeaways on the lesson and the story you read. Write 3 sentences explaining your drawing. Infer the feelings of the following characters. Write the letter correspond your answer on a separate sheet. English, Grade 5, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 2. Objectives: making prediction and drawing conclusions. Predict characters' possible decisions or actions. Draw conclusions from story events and character interactions. And express conclusions and prediction in culturally and gender-sensitive and age-appropriate manner. Now, students, let us learn together from this passage. Based on the story, you can guess that on Sundays, it is usual for Tia Maria to be out of the house. What helps you to guess the correct answer? The phrases, "nowhere to be seen," "it was Sunday," and "he missed the pleasant aroma when he woke up." The phrases or groups of words are called signals or clues. They help us understand the events and finally draw conclusions. Conclusions are guesses or decisions based on the events. On the second night, he saw more. The head was huge with glaring red eyes that seemed to grow straight through him. He could not take his gaze away from it, even if his instinct warned him to escape. The following day, Baste told his friend the story. "That's true. I asked him what he wanted, but he just said." Baste began preparing to imitate the piece. "I am the guardian of this land." Baste talked in a deep, rumbling voice. I protect it from those who would harm it, Baste added. But where is it? It is at your house right now. Can we see it? Baste's friend said, still in astonishment. Oh, Baste sighed and remarked, I didn't see him when I woke up this morning. Maybe because it was just a dream, Baste's friend said, laughing at him. Baste was slightly annoyed by his friend since he did not trust his stories, but perhaps he was simply dreaming. For the third time, he glimpsed its body. It was big and muscular, with sharp claws capable of tearing through anything in its path. He felt a sense of horror sweep over him as he understood how powerful this thing was. But he remembered what it had said about his noble quest. Students, based on the story, what event is most likely to occur next? Identify the correct prediction in every situation. Write the letter corresponds to your answer on a separate sheet. English, Grade 5, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 3. This time, let's find if you can answer these exercises. Remember that a prediction is a guess. We make predictions all the time in our daily lives. The process involves taking information or clues and then using that to make a guess about what will happen next. It shows an understanding of what we are reading and helps develop our imagination and thinking skills. Give at least one prediction in every situation. Write your answer in a complete sentence on a separate sheet of paper. English, Grade 5, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 4. Students, write T if the statement is true and F if it is false. Remember that the conclusion is a final decision based on the summing up of the main points. Now, predict or guess what will happen next to the following situations. Write your answer on the blank provided.
Thank you for watching! Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for you to be updated on our latest videos. See you on our next lesson. Goodbye!